Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back. Grand Rising, if you're receiving this in the morning. I did not do any content except for reposted some things. 11 seconds on the timer. I'm working on the, as my partner would call this, not a cup of coffee. It's basically milk flavored coffee. It's organic soy milk, honey, and really good organic coffee that we have been ordering from Virginia, from a roaster that we found in October of 2022 or 23 when we did our trip and our hiking trip in Virginia, I forget. But again, we've been ordering this coffee from them since then. If that tells you how good the fucking coffee is. So if you like good coffee, Traeger Brothers. Shout out to Traeger Brothers. Just got my new batch yesterday. All right. Integration. How's everyone doing? It's been a week so far. We are 21 days into May. It's been a month of upgrades, activations, recalibrations, integrations, rinse and repeat. We are receiving a lot of frequency, a lot of energy, a lot of upgrades, and it feels like the integration is either moving more quickly for you, for some of you. Some of you might be experiencing massive detoxes and purges. Now remember, we are in direct alignment with what's taking above in the cosmos, the planets, and I have been getting more, and again, I'm no expert, but I'm getting more and more in tune with that. And this time last year, I went through a massive heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye / crown, all of this whole chakra system, front to back. I had a massive lower and upper respiratory situation, which is basically purging and detoxing. So you might be experiencing that. I'm actually going through a little bit of purging right now, as well as the kiddo. We aren't sick, we don't have colds. We are purging, we are detoxing, and you might be experiencing these symptoms as well as going through an integration phase. So what can be challenging is you're thrown into this purge. You're also thrown into a sacred pause, or the 0 point, the nothingness. So last year I couldn't hardly keep any food down. I couldn't eat any food. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't breathe. It was miserable. And I was just getting ready to write up my workout journal, my workout for this morning, if I feel like I want to do that when I come back home. And again, apologize, a lot of throat chakra stuff clearing, and reactivations and upgrades. But I realized I had noted that, like upper, lower respiratory situation. And so you might be experiencing this. Also, I received some news that kind of threw me into a little bit of a tailspin, as triggers are meant to. They're supposed to trigger that residue, that debris that's still inside the field, still inside the physical body. The shit that's stored in your cells is purging and detoxing. Your mitochondria, your cells, your DNA, that's purging. You can do cell detoxes. Again, I always recommend, if you are not familiar with detoxing or protocols, get familiar and do it safely. And if you need to have somebody guide you, do that. But, you might be called to detox or be forced into a detox. Again, hence the sickness that's expelling from the physical body, the avatar, right? Because what is held in the DNA and in the cells is ready to be purged. And this is a collective thing that's going on. I'm not saying everyone's dealing with something. And somebody needs to hear this. You are not dying. You're waking up. You're going through a purge. You're going through a detox. You're making space for more light, right? For more light, more frequency, and more energy to be able to be held in your field and in your physical body, okay? So integration is so important. So yes, you receive the activation. Whether you realize it or not, you're receiving the codes, the activations that you are ready for. Everyone receives something different. You receive the light, the information, the key codes, the light language codes, whatever it is. You're receiving whatever you were meant to receive, whatever your soul knows you're ready to receive, whatever your highest knows you're ready to receive right now. And this has been going on a while, or some of you are just getting now, your amp system's getting tuned in and tuned up even more, okay? So honor the sacred space, honor the pause, honor every moment that your body's asking you to stop moving, to stop doing, to stop numbing, to stop distracting, to stop scrolling the bullshit, the nonsense. I'm not saying tech it can be used either way. We know this. But if you use your tech in these times to listen to the sacred podcasts, to listen to the super duper high frequency music, meditation, Sagafio frequency, all the multiple different frequencies out there, this will help you. Frequency and energy will help. Sound will help purge. And again, moving the body, not because you're telling it to move it, because it wants to move, to help. But if your body wants to do nothing, get into the nothing space and be okay with this, okay? Be okay with that. And what it is teaching you is to surrender more and more and more and more. It's all about the surrender into the now present moment. Whether you are not feeling well, your head's under pressure, your eyes are draining, your face is draining, your sinuses are draining, or you're just so stinking exhausted, you're just so utterly bone exhausted, to just be as still as possible. If you're still working the 9 to 5, maybe that's your sign and synchronicity that you need to make some decisions and work on changing that, because you don't have the time or the space, quote unquote. So they say, there's always time, there's always space. You choose not to make the time or to make the space. But the more time and more space you create, the more your soul will feel its true bliss and Ushnat Idya in alignment. Okay? All right. And continue to be your weird, raw, authentic, messy self in every moment, okay? I had a beautiful conversation the other day. Like, don't chase the job. Don't chase the money. You be still. You do you. You focus on the healing. You do all your stuff, and things will start you become the magnet, and things will start attracting. There's no reason to chase it anymore. That's part of the program. That's part of the programming and conditioning. All right? So I will probably do a different video going into full detail about integration. But again, we go back to what are some healthy integration practices. Again, we talk about this: journaling, grounding, hydration, nourishment, support. If there are people to support you, do that. Sleep, 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 stillness, stillness, hydration, gentle movement, time in nature, journaling, breathwork, meditation. I say these over and over again because these are like your foundational tools in your toolkit. All right, and that allows you to create, okay? Quiet reflection. All right, and if you are in a community, make sure it's in a community with those that are emotionally grounded. All right, because it's going to be a challenge to deal with that. Okay, so again, you've been receiving all these frequencies, energies through these geomagnetic solar storms, frequency upgrades, right? Akashic information that was not available to us before is now opening up to be activated and to be available. Thank you. So allow for these integrations, okay? You might be feeling more, my symptoms, excuse me, someone's clearing. So what happened was I was triggered 3 days ago and had a massive purge, just crying for like 6 hours. And then the next day, fully just emotionally exhausted. I do work in my sleep. So, and I had my Akashic records done. Again, I'm integrating that as well. I had that done a week ago. So there's integration with that as well as everything else that my nose is running. So that's, again, another sign. So that triggered stuff, working through and integrating the integration from all the codes and activations I received from my Akashic records reading. And then I had something happen on Monday that triggered something else that was purging, helping me purge even more. What else? And so 5-6 hours of crying and just purging, and then sleep. Like I said, when I sleep, I'm not sleeping typically. I'm getting activated, upgraded, downloads, or I'm doing work in the higher realms or in the higher astral realms. And that was confirmed with my Akashic record. I knew I've been doing work. So very rarely did he say, do I actually sleep? And it's like, you might feel this. You're feeling like you're in another timeline, you're in another realm, you're doing work, okay? So allow for whatever you're receiving or doing, because you could be doing work that you're clearing things up in other timelines to collapse them down, that now you are integrating, okay? So like where we're on Thursday, I lose track because I don't pay attention as much as possible to linear time. I think this happened Monday afternoon, so all of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, I was just, one would say, coming from the personal training background, when we would train really hard for races and things like that, it's like, I'm really banged up, Sarge. It feels like you've been run over by a bus, thrown off a cliff, you know what I mean? That type of, just feels like energetically bone deep exhausted after 10 hours of sleep, all of the rest. Like I said, I did a workout, I think on Monday, felt really good. And then by Monday afternoon, all the way up until this morning, just completely trashed. Energetically, emotionally, physically, just spiritually, just trashed. And you might be feeling that right now. And if you're still here, you're resonating with this. And again, I promise you, it's just this moment in time. What song is trying to come through? This something moment. What is it? I can't think of it. It's yeah. Crazy Train also has been coming through in many ways. So Crazy Train, all aboard. Get on the Crazy Train. All right. So with the immense crying that's been taking place, now yesterday I took a hot bath. It's hilarious to think that I had no energy, sometimes having no energy to even get into a bath, because the bath is very detoxifying and exhausting as well for me. But it's very grounding and it's very helpful in many ways, okay? So after that, then I had major sinus drainage because I put essential oils on and all of that. So I had major sinus drainage. So I woke up in the middle of the night, not last night, but the night before, had a massive coughing fit. Throat chakra. Sinus is draining, a lot of sinus drainage with that. Woke up the next day, completely wiped out. Like I could barely function to get through my day. Just get through my day. Came home, took the kid to school, came home, sat in the yard, journaled, colored in my journal, fed the squirrels, went out into Publix. I had to get something, came home and just was laid in bed. And I don't usually just lay in bed. So if you nap if you can, or just lay down. So I literally laid on my bed and covered up and just laid there for an hour. I didn't really sleep. I just breathed and laid there and just felt the space and allowed for the stillness. And then I had to get up 12:12 on the timer to go get the kid. And that almost felt like a lot of work. And again, came home and had enough energy to eat some food and take a bath. And by the time I took a bath, like I said, then this purging, so then my nose started running and there's a lot of sinus detox. There's a lot of pineal gland. That's why you are having all this drainage, is because your pineal gland is being decalcified more and more and being more and more activated. It's receiving more and more light. So this purging is taking place in these upper chakras, your crown chakra, and in those spaces that you can't physically know. It's again in your energetic body as well that is purging, right? Because you're a multidimensional layered body out of this physical body. So you also purging from your field that's in that space. So sinus drainage all night long and coughing, the kid clearing the throat. So this is just detox symptoms. Sweating more might be a thing too. So for me, my integration, so allow for the integration. Can we get just to the point? Is the integration. Is what I'm getting to is the activations are great. Everyone, like I said, is always loves the activations because you get this buzz or this high. But you have to allow for the integration. So what am I integrating? The information that I had on Monday that was received, integrating my Akashic record reading from the week ago. I think we did Reiki Share last week, so whatever received. And I do specific meditations. On Monday night, I did a Codex global meditation. I completely left my body and then was snapped back in at the end. That was a completely different type of experience that I've had before, and I was still integrating whatever took place there. So like I said, I do things, you might be constantly getting activated and integrating. So like I've said, my entire awakening process is activating, getting activated, getting the downloads, getting the informations, recalibrating and integrating and purging and detoxing. It's this cyclical cycle. It's not linear, and that's the point of integration. Things are not linear. So like I said, you go through these cycles. Sometimes during the month it's more and sometimes it's less. So you might be feeling more of these cycles this month because there's been a lot going on this month for you personally, as well as the collective consciousness, okay? As well as the collective consciousness. So be gentle, be compassionate, and be loving towards yourself. Have grace, all of the grace for yourself, all of the love, all of the compassion. Gives yourself space, rest, and like I said, use those tools. My symptoms, like I said, heavy sinus drainage, coughing, blowing of the nose, drainage in the eyes, drainage out of the ears, because you're draining this fluid is coming out of your body. Like I said, sweating. Use essential oils that will help purge. Use foods to help purge, but know what you're doing, okay? When you use these medicinal tools mindfully. Very lightheaded and dizzy, very displaced. Like, I think the big part of yesterday was I wasn't fully in my body. I think my soul, my human was doing the human things because it knew how to do the things, but I literally felt like other parts of my higher self were other places doing things or lining things up, because I felt completely displaced. Like, I knew I was here and I did all the grounding. I was doing all of the stuff to stay grounded, but I physically feel like parts of me were not here. Very displaced, very disoriented, very, like I said, bone deep, exhausted and tired. Seeing the difference between tired and exhausted, and then I'm gonna level it at bone deep exhaustion. Very sensitive to light, like I could hardly open my eyes yesterday. The sun felt extra hot. I felt extra cold when I was cold. So you might have more sensitivity to heat and cold, but even being really hot or being really cold, there's that dysregulation. The nervous system is getting recalibrated, okay? Aches, pains, a little bit of head pressure. I didn't have a lot of head pressure this time around, but sometimes you might have massive headaches or head pressure. My partner's like, you got a migraine. I didn't got a migraine. Might get occipital pressure up here, again, going up into the pineal gland, which is back here. So it sits right in the middle. So if you want to put oils, put them right in the center, put them like right here. I usually, when I do oils, I do here, 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 and back here for the essential oils. So sound will help, frequency will help move that, but gentle sound. But definitely sound was more sensitive, very highly. I could pick a lot more sound up, so clear audience. Conversations I was hearing more clearly at a distance. So very sensitive to sound, highly emotional, lots of crying and releasing, a lot of coughing, like I said, a lot of throat chakra, a lot of upper chakra system, heart space. Oh my God, my heart space. There's moments where it's like, you just like, oh, I just want to grab your heart. Your heart might feel like it's cracking open and you're just feeling everything, because we're going through another massive heart expansion, and you can feel your heart in the field in front to back. All right, so get into sun, nature, hydration, grounding, journal, stillness, lay down, frequency music. And remember, when you're going through these different waves, it could last 24 hours, 48 hours, or 72 hours. But because I'm on a cyclical cycle, once I feel better, I usually end up going through another activation or download. My team's been working on me a lot. And the one thing that came through in my Akashic readings is, yes, you've been, the good news and the bad news. The good news is, yes, you've been getting all these rapid activations, upgrades, and downloads. The bad news is you still have more activation, downloads, and upgrades together. So take how that is. And like I said, there's times where I'll receive something like in a meditation, and then I can integrate that really quickly, like within 12 hours or less than 24 hours. And this one has been like a 72-hour round, like integration. I feel better right now. I say I'm gonna work out. That's the plan right now. We'll see what my body wants when I get home. Okay, 18 on the timer. All right. So you might be seeing again more of the signs, the synchronicities, the key codes. You're hearing things more clearly, feeling things more clearly. Salt baths, early bedtimes, and lots of rest. Have I said that? And lots of nourishment. Nourishment. Okay. All right. That is the message for this morning. I will probably go into a little deeper. I wrote some stuff down on like integration itself, but you can get curious from this video. Go see this, and it's just going to confirm that you are not going crazy. Everyone's going through their own cyclical cycles of activations and downloads, upgrades. You're getting massive upgrades. Everyone's getting upgraded. Okay. Upgraded for where your soul's journey is now. So some of us have been getting upgrades for a year or more. And we're on a little bit different timeline trajectory, but that doesn't mean you're behind. You're divinely on time for what you coded yourself for your souls, okay? So everyone's at a different stage. So again, non-judgment and non-comparing. Do not compare yourself to the other person that you are maybe in your field, a family member, a friend, a coworker, whatever, or other people online. Do not compare yourself. Your journey is your journey, and it is sacred work. This work of healing and releasing and integrating and receiving the information, receiving the downloads, receiving the activations, the recalibration, and then rinsing and repeating, because everything is cyclical, is not linear. And that's the thing with the human. It's like everything wants to go like this, and it's cyclical. You know, it's a cyclical spiral, okay? Remember to take radical responsibility for yourself, love yourself, and honor yourself first, and quit giving all of your free time and your energy and your frequency out to everyone else around you. You have to nourish and take care of you first, okay? That's another one, okay? So know that this is a good thing. This is what we came here to do. You may have forgot. I'm here to remind you, but this is what we came here to do, and we got to quit chasing the highs and allow for the lows in the integration, in the recalibration, because that's just as, or more important as 2022 as the other stuff, just like health and wellness and fitness. When you lift weights, the magic doesn't happen while you are lifting the weights. The magic happens in the rest period. So remember, the magic is happening during those integrative recalibration stages and phases that you are going through. And it is not a one and done. Nope, doesn't work that way. You get really good at it. You get really good at honoring and listening to your body. You really get good at listening to the intuition that's coming through. Get really good at listening to your higher self, the higher consciousness of your body. You get really good at resting more, getting into nature more, journaling more, listening to high frequency music. You get really good at doing all of the self-care stuff, right? But you're still going to be going through it. You just get really good at the tools that'll help you move through this with a little bit more ease, grace, compassion, and love for yourself. Okay, 2121 on the timer. I think I could keep talking about this for a while. So I didn't want to talk yesterday at all. I needed you to be still and quiet as much. Okay, so I love you from the bottom of my heart to yours. Again, any comments or questions, please leave those, and please share your experiences that you've been going through this month. Because when we share your experiences and you interact with other people, you help other people remind them that they are not alone. I'm here to remind you you're not alone, but when you share yourself, you're sharing your authentic, messy, magical self. And those comments will be very helpful for other people, whether you realize it or not. You interacting and sharing your comments will help other people. I promise you, 2202 for confirmation. I love you. I am you, you are me, all right? And we are we, and I'll see you soon. Bye.